わさびアニメすごいですね。
Welcome home, Goshijin-sama, Ojo-sama, back to Made in America. My name is Head Maid Shay, and I'm joined today by the lovely Maid Joy and the lovely Madame Macaron from Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe. I am Maid Shay, and I am a magical flower fairy that comes from the Enchanted Garden.
I'm Maid Joy, and I'm a bunny maid that likes to eat.
I'm
And
Madame
we're
Macaron. I'm a vampire witch, and I'm from Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe, based in San Antonio, Texas.
We're so excited to have you, and we're so excited to see everybody back for this week's stream. I'm really excited to get to talk to you all as well. So if you have any comments or questions at any time during the stream, feel free to put them in the comments and we'll answer them as quickly as we can. So yeah, we're just excited to see you again, Goshijin-sama. I'd give you like a virtual hug if I could. So Mrs. Madame Macaron, you are from Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe. Can you please tell us what your role is in the cafe?
Okay, I am the owner and head maid of Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe. I came up with this crazy idea, and I do basically everything that goes involved in running this cafe.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool. I am a huge fan of Deadly Sweet. I know a lot of the maids at Maid Cafe Mikkusu are too. They're very excited and very jealous that I get to talk to you today about Deadly Sweet. Can you tell us a little bit more about Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe and like what it is and how you came up with the theme?
Sure. I always loved maid cafes. I love the performance aspect as well with like the cute food and everything. So I wanted to combine both of my passions into like one idea because I do love dancing and I do love baking and cooking. So that's where I decided to make a maid cafe. But where the spooky part comes in, um, when initially planning my cafe, um, I was going the typical route of just like really cute and bubbly, but I wasn't really my personal style. Like I couldn't like it looks amazing on other people, but I didn't think I could personally do that. So in my dark room, just like surrounded by like skulls and stuff, I'm just like, why don't I just do a monster maid cafe? And that's how Deadly Sweet came to be.
Oh, I love that so much. It's such a great concept because I like kawaii pastel or pastel goth, I think is what it's called now. Just took off and everybody likes it, even if they don't want to admit it. It's pretty great. And it's so cool that your cafe fits into like that pastel gothy kind of, vibe.
So I have a question. You say you actually like to cook and bake. What are your favorite things to cook and or bake? Like what you have a favorite thing or any secret recipes?
They're secret. She's not going to tell you.
I mean, it's kind of hard to choose, but I guess I really bonded with making macarons, which is why I chose macaron as my maiden name.
That's
They're
not your
really
real
difficult.
name?
They're really difficult to make, but once you get it down, it's like an amazing feeling to pull them out of the oven and they're perfect.
Do you have a favorite flavor?
Ooh, that's hard to choose. It's like a tie between chocolate and matcha.
I have never been able to make a macaroon ever. Every time I come out, they're like, I'm like, no. It's really sad and depressing. But I've also could be not just like a good baker.
It takes practice.
For that anyway. It's very difficult.
Yes, if the weather and everything isn't just perfectly aligned, they won't turn out.
I'm surprised you don't cook anything with like blood or anything since you're a vampire. No humans going into the oven.
No.
Like, I'm a universal donor. I want to.
I mean, these are made for human consumption. No, like for my personal taste, maybe.
Let's see. So in the chat, capital A list heaven says, "Love y'all so much. Keep up the great work, Miss Macaron."
Yay, thank you.
Yay. And then Wasabi Anime also says, "Made Joy seeing an opportunity to talk about food."
Always, it's my favorite subject. Like I'm just getting into cooking myself, so it's like, oh, cool. This is like, I can eat this. It's like a science experiment that you can consume and then make
Exactly.
it.
So, like, with your spooky theme of the cafe, do you have any plans for Halloween coming up?
Yes, we are actually going to host a virtual maid cafe on Halloween.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Is it
after
gonna be
this,
is it gonna be like live? Like where can
yes,
people watch that?
we're working on the which platform to use, but most likely it will be on YouTube. It'll be a live stream of like a virtual cafe experience.
I
After the
love
stream's
that.
over, I'll be releasing, the full details of that. But I guess a sneak peek. Our
Ooh,
virtual
sneak peek.
cafe will include an interactive package you can purchase that will come with like a dessert, a drink, and some special surprises inside to go along with our live stream.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I love that.
That's cool.
Halloween is my favorite holiday. It just seems like it fits so well into the theme of your cafe. And I
Yes.
also see the dances on your Instagram, which are
Oh,
so
yes.
good and cute. Do you have any Halloween like dances or performances planned? If you want to
Yes.
share secrets.
We will have a performance portion of our live stream. We'll have
Oh,
a
I'm
few of our
so
maids doing some really cute dances for you guys.
Oh, well, I will be there for sure watching it. I'm so excited.
What time? Wait, let me put this on my calendar.
Our stream will start at 2 p.m. and there'll be several segments throughout our cafe.
Is it on Halloween?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome.
That's perfect.
I love that. Oh,
Well,
it's so
that's
cool.
honestly really nice because I feel like there won't be a lot of in-person events or anything happening. Like
Mm.
I guess we're too old to trick or treat or whatever. But
Yeah.
You're never too old.
no.
Never.
Well, like at what point do people stop giving you candy?
That's kind of true.
Mhm. We're adults. We can buy our own candy.
That's also true.
So that's an event coming up for you guys. What events have you done in the past?
We've done a lot of events.
I like in person and virtual?
Virtual, not so much, but in person, yes. This month alone, we've done a few bake sales, slowly working our way back out at some like smaller farmers markets and those type of things where it's like everyone's really spaced out and it's outdoors. And the reception has
Literally
been really
everything you
nice.
keep saying, I just keep going,
I was
oh, it's so cute.
What do you guys
My
sell
heart
at the
feels
bake
full.
sales? That's so cool.
We usually sell just baked goods,
She's like macarons.
like macarons, sugar cookies,
Cookies.
cupcakes, things like that.
Oh my gosh.
That's so
So
cool.
what's been your favorite event you've done then?
This year, I would have to say the Asian Festival. It's a yearly festival that's held in our downtown that like celebrates all kinds of Asian culture, and it was a huge event. And we got to perform, and we sold out really fast of our food. We had to sell. We were selling cupcakes, macaroons, and also curry, beef curry.
Oh,
So we sold out really fast. So if we get invited back next year, we'll have to bring like triple.
oh, that's so good. I'm so proud of you guys.
I love
Thank you.
that's
She's thinking
so
about food now. My joy
awesome.
is we've
I'm
lost
crying.
her.
Like, that sounds really good.
I could go for some curry.
Curry, yeah, that sounds wonderful. I've been craving curry so much this week.
Is there anything you don't crave, Joy?
Olives. Yes.
So for these events, do you like rotate your maids and butlers, or do you have like the same team for all of them? Like, can you tell me more about your maids and butlers?
Sure. For our events, we mostly rotate them out. It's just on availability, like who's available to come, then we show up. But we have a lot of types of monster maids in our cafe. We have one that's an eldritch horror maid. We have a robot cyborg maid. We have a minotaur. We
How
also
does that
have.
work?
That's awesome.
He's actually a butler. Our minotaur is a butler. His name is Minotaur Milkshake, and he
Oh
likes these protein shakes.
my god, I love it.
We also have Demon Boba, Sakura Imp, Moth Mallow.
Wait, did you just say moth? Mellow?
Moth Mallow, yes.
I cannot.
Mothman and Marshmallow.
I cannot.
Honestly, that's one of the best parts of having this cafe is all the cute monster maids that we get to have. It's just like it's so wonderful.
That's so good. Oh, I love it so much. Just addressing the chat really quick. V Walking, thank you so much for the bit, the heart bit. And then Tom Kroom, thank you as well for the heart bit too. And they really like Moth Mallow too.
Yes, it's so
It's
sweet.
so
It's
good.
so adorable. Yes.
So creative.
Mm-hmm.
Do they come up with their own names, or is that something that you kind of have like the creative mastermind behind?
It's kind of like a meeting of the minds. How we come up with our maid names, it's one part our favorite mythological creature or monster, and the other part our favorite dessert or something that kind of goes with our monster. So that's how their names come to be.
It's so creative. I love it.
Thank you.
So going back to your cafe, like in general, how did you? Oh, Echo. I'm so sorry. Echo. Sorry, I have a little wiener dog. Hey, stop. So actually, that kind of is funny because my wiener dog is barking because there was a knock at the door, and the knock at the door is the delivery person delivering my Halloween Maid Cafe outfit.
Oh, perfect timing.
So it's all, yeah, I live Maid Cafe. Everything that happens in my life is regarding the Maid Cafe. And so going back to my question, what is like the general history of your cafe? Like, how did you meet these people and like do that meeting of the minds, like you said, to create, Deadly Sweet?
We started originally back in 2016, but it was like very slow crawl getting this started, like a zombie walk, if you will, getting this business started. Just because I wasn't sure if people would be into a maid cafe, let alone one that's spooky all year round. So it was kind of just testing the waters. But then in 2018, things started to really pick up and people really liked what we were trying to do. And then it just kind of been a upward projection since then.
That's so good. And like, I don't know why, but when you were talking, your logo came to my mind. And like talking about like the meeting of the minds, right? How did you create that logo? Because it is ingenious. It's like a skull heart, and
Yes.
when I first saw it, I was like, that is amazing.
That was just something I just always wanted to see, but like in a certain way. Like I've seen skull hearts before, but like not as perfect as that one, I guess. Not to brag,
amazing.
but
No,
but the
it
little
is
bat
literally
wings
like
so
my
cute.
OCD like loves it. It just checks off all the boxes, and my OCD is like, this is nice.
But the skull itself is kind of like a miniature version of our mascot. It's a skeleton maid called Skelly-chan.
No.
Yeah. So that's our beautiful mascot. I think of her as my daughter.
She's gorgeous. And I can see on your Instagram, like I go back and I look at the like earlier promotions you did for earlier events, and seeing her in like a little maid dress is like, oh my gosh. Like I root for her, like I simp her. I don't even know her. But she's just amazing. So if anybody hasn't seen their logo, definitely go check it out on their Instagram at Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe, because it is like your OCD will thank me. It is incredible.
It is precious. I was gonna say I just put like I blew up my story on Instagram. I'm like, we're with Deadly Sweet. We're with Deadly Sweet. That's so
like
cool.
I'm not even kidding. When I posted, or the girls, my maids, found out that I was interviewing Deadly Sweet today, they were like, "Oh my god, I'm so jealous! Oh, I love them. They're so cute. They're so aesthetic." So,
Thank you.
yeah, I was like, "Oh yeah, well, you can't join me. They're all mine." Let's see. So in the chat we have Pastel K240. Saying the usernames is always the hardest thing, so I apologize. I saw you guys twice in conventions, and I've been dying to meet you in person. When I did, I was so impressed. I love everything about your cafe, from the mascot to the great service aesthetic too.
Thank you so much. That
That
really means
is
a lot.
nice. And they like all the creative names too. In the chat, they say they like the creative names, which how can you blame them? They're so good. So good.
We literally just like cry over how beautiful these maids are. Just like so good, so aesthetic, so spoopy.
So spoopy.
I was gonna say, if you're able to, I don't know if you can, like, can we see your uniform?
Yeah, I mean,
What are you wearing?
kind of, maybe. So
She's like, only from the waist up because I am wearing sweatpants.
Yeah.
I was gonna wear sweatpants, but I was like, maybe they might want to see the full thing, so I went all out. You can't really see, but I do have this giant red petticoat underneath that's like
I love
super
it.
huge.
Aesthetic. Oh, that's
Yes,
super cute.
Purple and black.
It's so good. It's so
Then I
good. And
have
your makeup is flawless too. It all just
thank
fits
you.
so well.
I also have little macarons in my hair, a little bat. Can't really see, but bat pins.
That's super cute.
I also usually wear fangs, but they kind of give me a lisp, so I did not wear them today.
Oh, a little
That's
less.
fair,
Then
Yeah, I mean,
you can say spoopy, and then it'll
Yeah.
be like,
Maybe I can make it cool. Vampire with a lisp.
I mean, I
that
kind of,
honestly would just add to the cuteness.
yeah, pretty much. Let's see. So out of all of the events that you've done, do you have any fun stories, or what is the most memorable story, that something that's happened that sticks out to you?
It's kind of hard to choose just one, but
Just one. You're only allowed one.
I guess one of the most rewarding moments was when we were actually able to host our own pop-up cafe that was like separate from any other event. And we rented a venue and had our own pop-up, and we're able to give like the full cafe experience that we want to give. And we had like full entree, dessert, drink, and performance in the space. And we had all maids on deck at the time, and it was just such a wonderful feeling to have everyone together and everyone experiencing the cafe that I want to bring to my town. You know?
Yeah. Oh gosh. So you're from San Antonio, Texas, yeah?
Mhm.
Are there many other cafes locally that you have to compete with, or not necessarily compete, but maybe collaborate?
Yeah, there are several cafes in Texas. Actually, there's quite a lot of us, but um, I haven't really collaborated with them yet. But we are just Mado family here in Texas.
Nato family.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe once the pandemic calms down a bit, we could try reaching out.
Yeah, well, I was just wondering because it seems like you wouldn't associate Texas with maid cafes
Yeah.
or anywhere really, but it's amazing to see how many maid cafes there are now.
Yes.
And like I said this before, but Mado family, like I'm not even kidding, like we're all connected because we like maid cafes and like that aesthetic. And it's crazy to think that, it could be miles away, like hundreds of miles away, and you are connected with someone that you don't even know. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I love that.
me too.
So, can you tell our viewers what a pop up is?
Oh, a pop-up is essentially where we rent out a space and make it into our own little slice of maid cafe. I was gonna say heaven, but maybe in our case hell. um, where we, put on I guess a cafe experience where it's like stepping into an actual restaurant for the day.
That's really cool.
Now, do you guys like take over the the decorations and like
Oh yes, very much so. It's like being transported into our little haunted house.
oh,
Oh,
oh
did it just run for a single day or
Yeah, it
did
was
you
just
have
for one day.
Oh, that's so
ooh.
good. I'm so proud to hear that it like did so well too.
Mhm.
So in the chat, we have Legendary Zed that says, I'd love for you guys to come out to a convention in the Seattle area once things open back up again. On in Orlando and had a great time. Oh, I think that was directed towards us. I apologize.
Okay.
But no, yeah, Seattle would be great. I would love to travel for Maid Cafe stuff just in general. Have you guys ever traveled outside of San Antonio, Texas for any Maid Cafe related stuff?
Kind of, not really. Just in Texas, there's so many really small cities outside of the big cities. And I think maybe we did one that was like just outside of San Antonio, not really too far. But I mean, we're not opposed to traveling.
Yeah, but that's probably great for business perspective because probably all of your fans and like followers are local then,
Yes,
which makes
very much
all the
so.
difference.
I wanted to ask, so you guys are in San Antonio, do you have like a home convention that you know that you always hit, or like what's the convention scene like out in, or do you do conventions as well? Because I know you've done your pop-up.
It depends. We have done conventions, but we mostly do like bake sales around town at smaller events. Um, I guess the conventions that we usually do every year are hosted by this wonderful lady at Creepy Classics in Wonderland of the Americas Mall. She hosts like really fun events every year, and they're all usually horror themed, so we always feel right at home.
Oh,
So
I
those are
love
the
that.
type of conventions we do.
Mhm.
We also were asked to host a plushie TV cafe at San Japan last year, which is one of the bigger cons in Texas, and that was really fun to do. We met a lot of great people. It was a really busy weekend.
So you said it was a plushy what?
Chibi cafe. So they had two
Chibi cafe.
cafes. They had like a regular main maid cafe, and then we were like a plushie cafe, where you can choose a plushie and have your dessert with the plushie during your stay in our cafe.
Oh, I love plushies.
Yeah, I think everybody does.
Not as
Well, I
much as
was thinking like plushie, like you guys dressed up in like those mascot costumes or something. My head was
I
like,
mean, that's
huh.
an idea, but no.
I mean, it's kind of spooky in its own way, right? Those
I
mascot
mean,
costumes are pretty scary sometimes.
kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's vibes.
Ooh, I love that. I'm gonna have to come to San Antonio, Texas now. Next time when things all clear up and you are back to doing IRL events,
Yes.
I'm definitely just gonna like show up and creep on everybody during an event, be like, "Ooh,
Y'all got snacks.
yeah,"
We
and
will have snacks.
oh, I love sweets. Like baked goods are I could probably live off of baked like desserts and just bread.
No, you probably couldn't live. I don't think your body could handle that.
Challenge accepted.
Let's see. So in the chat we have, oh, it's that word, it's that name again. I'm so sorry. Capitalist Heaven. I don't know why that's such a tricky thing in my brain. I remember SJ 2019. I'm assuming that is for you guys because I don't know what that means. It was the first time I saw y'all. I have attended almost every place you guys have been. Keep up the amazing work from your biggest fan, Justin.
Thank you so much.
That is
It really
so
means
sweet.
a lot.
Oh my gosh, my cheeks are getting a little sore from smiling so much.
Oh.
I know.
I really
my
appreciate
heart
our
feels
fans.
warm and my face feels sore. Just the way I like my maid cafes to leave me.
That's true. So when you do pop-up events, do you guys like do you play games too? Or like
Yeah,
is it all about the food? Like I'm not complaining either way.
it's a little bit of both. We serve the meal, and then after we play games with our guests, like one-on-one games or group games, and then we usually end each session with a dance performance.
Hmm.
It's really fun and interactive.
Yeah, we are mostly a game cafe. So the fact that you guys
Ooh.
do mostly performance, like we have our performances, we have our group, our solos, some duets, but we are primarily focused on the games. So I think you guys are more performance based if
I
I
would say so,
see
yes.
like your Instagram and stuff like that. So what is your favorite performance to do or to see, done at your cafe?
Mm, it's really hard to
I'm
choose.
sorry.
um,
We're
I guess it
asking the real
depends.
questions here in Made in America.
It depends on what crowd we're in. Like if it's in for an event where it's full of people, I guess like-minded individuals of culture who understand the songs we're doing. Anything by Baby Metal will get the crowd
I
going.
love baby metal. Okay, no, wait, you gotta stop. Okay, my face can't handle this. Oh, I love that whole genre. It's so good.
Me too.
So do you have any specific songs that you like best to perform then?
Mm, It's also really difficult.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
mm, mm. I guess
She said,
as soon as I think of one, I think of another one. I
like, what do you
guess
have the most fun performing? Like, which one do you have the most fun performing personally?
the one I used to perform a lot was the opening from Rosario Vampire,
Oh,
and
girl.
that's a song that anyone can vibe to, even if they've
Yeah,
never seen the anime.
it's
It's a good
so
beat.
good.
That one's my favorite because you can really see people's faces light up when they know what it's from, and then just the old people just passing by, like, this is a pretty good song.
Yeah, you're like, this is nice. So, then a personal question then. Do you watch anime?
Yes.
So what's
I
your
do.
favorite anime?
All right, you can't do that. Top three. Just top
Okay,
Okay,
I was
top
like,
three.
I'm
Top
looking for
three.
recommendations.
You're
too.
right. You're right. The one is very hard. So top three.
I guess my current favorite is I can't remember the Dropkick on My Devil. I think that's what it's called. Dashin-chan. It's it's about this um I guess goth Lolita witch who summons this demon, but she can't send her back, and the contract can't be broken unless she finds the second volume of the book she summoned her from, or she dies. So it's just about like their slice of life.
That
It's
sounds
like the
cute.
Blues
I've
Life,
never
isn't
heard of
it?
it, but it sounds cute.
That's cool. Yeah. What was the name again?
Dropkick on My Devil. I think that's what it's called.
Need a pen.
I'll ask the same question to the chat while you're looking that up. What are your 3 top favorite anime to our viewers? You got the finger guns going. You know it's a serious question.
So was that your third or your number one?
I guess number close second. I guess my favorite of all time is Full Metal Alchemist.
That's a really good one. Yeah.
I guess I would say I'm more of a manga reader than an anime watcher. When I was really young, I read the Full Metal Alchemist manga, and I was just sobbing and just like I loved the story so much. But so I guess number one is Full Metal Alchemist. Number two, it is called Dropkick on My Devil, the English title.
I love it when they translate Japanese titles into English because they're always like, "What does that mean?
Yeah.
What is that?"
Well, I guess she's a snake girl, the demon she summons, and she always tries to kill her by doing a drop kick.
Okay.
So that's why. But it's very much a parody anime. It's has a lot of references to other
I love
anime.
those. Yeah.
It's very silly, not serious at all.
Yeah. No, I like those.
I feel like I haven't seen enough anime to like really get one of those. Like I'm trying to get into Gintama and it's like ahaha.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
Wait,
to be
that's
really
two of
deep
them.
in the sauce to get it.
Let's see. So we have Erica Wolf in the chat says Sailor Moon, Utena,
Utena?
Utena, and Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, I did not know this was an anime.
And then we have King of Prism, Ruby, and Hirogashi. I'm mostly into maid and idol animes. Guilty. Me
Yes.
too.
I mean, Maid Sama was pretty good.
Have you ever seen like Love Live or anything like that? Or is that the name of the anime? Yeah.
Yes, Love Live. I haven't really watched it per se. I feel like a bad, fan of idols and stuff because I haven't really watched it. But I do really appreciate the enthusiasm the fandom has.
That's a very
They go
polite way of
all out.
saying it. That's super polite.
Enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm. Usually when people are in or like Maid Cafes, it's because, maybe not because, but they also like Love Live. It just kind of like goes hand in hand. But I too like it. Only a little bit. Only like a little. A lot.
When you live and breathe kawaii, I feel like there's only so much you can take.
No, I can take a lot.
Wait,
Yeah.
so was that 2 of your anime or was that 3? Did I miss it?
I guess the last one, I guess deferring back to manga, anything by Junji Ito, I can vibe on. Yeah.
I like Studio Ghibli. But that's, I don't know if that's.
I'm on a
very
quest to
specific.
watch all of the films, like all of the Studio Ghibli films. So, like, more or less in chronological order of like release. Not that they're all part of the same universe, but I'm working on it.
Well,
That's super
while we're asking the super deep questions of the universe, Madame Macaron, what is your goals for Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe? Like, what are your, projections, plans?
My ultimate goal is to actually open up a Maid Cafe restaurant in San Antonio.
I was like, her
the
ultimate
dream.
goal, domination, world
Basically.
domination.
Yes, basically. I just really would love to have an actual storefront cafe in San
Like a brick
Antonio.
and mortar, like an actual location.
Yes,
Wow,
that's the
a lot
ultimate
of
goal.
work.
It is, but I feel like we could do it. I have a really great team that's really dedicated and wants to make this happen just as bad as I do. So I feel like we're in a good position to make this happen.
Would you keep the current theme that you guys have, like the
Yes.
pastel goth?
Yes, very much so. It'd be like our own little haunted house you can come visit all year round. And instead of being called master, I guess, you'd be like our guest visiting this haunted house.
And you guys are all just still like the spoops inside?
Yes, very much so.
Oh,
Our little monster maids.
So close your eyes. Close your eyes. So you walk through the door? What is it? What does it look like? What do your uniforms look like? What's the decor?
So the decor I'm planning, I love stripes and like Beetlejuice stripes, but with purple and black. Maybe some like chandeliers or candelabras to really set the mood.
Yeah,
Spooky vibes.
Same adorable little outfits.
Yes, very much so. The black and the purple. Maybe because right now, currently, they're like a 2-piece, so that's easy to get in and out of. But definitely want to upgrade to an actual full-on dress. Also, it was a fully stylistic choice to do long sleeve, but it's not very practical in Texas.
Ooh, yeah.
So we definitely suffer for our art.
You're like, aesthetics.
Essentially, yes. But definitely would like to maybe have alternate costume for weather and sanity, I guess.
Well, like Maid Dream and like the Japanese ones have different season dresses that are like according, and then they have like their Halloween ones. Like it's so cute. So you'd want to have like essentially like a couple of different like costume changes.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, my mind is going crazy right now.
Yes, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Especially with fairy magic.
And your witchy spells, you can be like. So would you make food, like hypothetically, we're not guaranteeing to anybody that this is going to happen. We're just saying that, we're having fun daydreaming. Okay, let us have this.
Real world.
Okay? Would you be making the food there, or would you be cooking, or?
in an ideal world, I would potentially train someone so that way I can fully oversee the cafe in case something happens. Or if I want to dance, I can go dance and not have to worry about if someone's omurice is gonna burn or something.
Yeah, your macarons burning in the oven.
But this song is life, you know. I gotta go.
Would you keep the name Deadly Sweet Cafe? Yeah, yeah, never mind. That's not a question.
It's such a great name, and the logo. They both stay.
I love it.
I mean, it's
like
not my decision, but they both stay.
just
So just addressing the chat really quick. V Walking, thank you so much for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bits. Thank you. And they are agreeing that it would be very, very cute and dream/nightmare food, not fuel. Well, technically, I guess it's fuel, but whatever. Somnatics would be amazing, which I agree. You could just, there's so many dad jokes that to be made.
Exactly.
There's so many puns. Well, I totally am here for your future goal. I love that. I really hope it happens. I might have to move to San Antonio, Texas now.
Honestly, I've been thinking about it. Don't tell mom. I must go where the snacks call me.
You gotta try these made of macaron, matcha macaron.
Oh my gosh, that sounds wonderful.
Potentially, hopefully, in the near future, we will do mailing our more stable desserts. So maybe the goodness can come to you.
A macaron in an envelope, and you just open it up, and you're like,
excellent.
just shake out the crumbs.
Yes.
Hopefully, it arrives in one piece. Like we're still working out the logistics because I know cookies would be easier, but cakes would be a lot harder to to send in the mail and still keep their kawaii goodness.
It sounds like you put a lot of thought into the behind the scenes of your cafe, and especially when you separate just how fun and club like it is versus business. And do you ever find it hard to separate oh, this is my friends having fun versus I am a business owner?
Yes, very much so, especially in the beginning. Because it was just a group of friends, just hey, I have an idea, maybe you want to mate around a little bit. But then it started actually turning bigger. So now I have people who weren't originally my friends, but I consider friends now. Coming together to make this work.
Brought them together.
Yes, basically. So it was really difficult at first because sometimes things need to get done and you can't be really cutesy all the time.
Right.
But we did get through the hard times and now here we are. Thriving.
Yeah. I feel like you directing someone and telling someone to do would still be super kawaii though.
Yeah.
Hey, I told you to get dressed. Especially with the teeth. It's to be spooky.
Essentially, that's what it is.
So we do have a question in the chat. J Parker 713 says, question: are y'all the folks over Fan Expo Dallas, Maid Cafe and all?
I think I've heard of that event, but we have never been to that one. It might be another Maid Cafe you're thinking of.
I've been to that convention, but not as a maid. Yeah.
Oh.
What do you mean not as a maid?
Well, I'm always a maid in spirit, but I went as a fan. So V Walking says maiding around. That's adorable. And then Jay Parker, welcome. You are new to Wasabi Anime. We welcome you warmly. We hope you're enjoying our content. We're really enjoying interviewing Deadly Sweet and Maid Macaron and asking her serious questions that are tearing apart the universe. So going back to what we were talking about the business side of maid cafes. So you say you have help now in running, but is it sometimes kind of overwhelming to be the person in charge?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, because there's so many aspects that go into it. Most of my, I guess not really competitors, but other businesses that I have kind of a camaraderie with when I do my shows, they have one item they sell or make, or
Right.
just like a simple specific thing they do.
Right.
But I try to hit so many things at once. It can get a little crazy trying to manage it all, but somehow
Yeah.
I do it. I don't
Well,
really know how to explain it, but it happens.
I'm sure all your fans and your, followers are rooting for you, and they're saying, "Fighting, Maid Macaron, fighting!" So you have people behind you, to push you
Yes,
forward.
definitely helps keep me going when it's like 3 a.m. and I'm icing all the cupcakes, like doing it for the
Oh,
babies.
yeah. Well, we're your invisible support system. Now we're gonna be like, oh, I wonder what Maid Macaron is doing and how
I know, right?
what she's up to. You're probably like
Yeah,
making stuff,
whipping up
doing
some stuff.
something. Yeah.
I'm curious, do you ever like experiment with new recipes or like I don't know if you've ever watched Cake Boss, but like
Joy, stop talking about food.
ma'am.
It's okay.
Nasty shame.
Sometimes yes, sometimes the experiments turn out really tasty. Sometimes not so much.
What do you do
Often,
with the ones that aren't tasty?
well, we do have a butler called Dulce de Lich, who is kind of like our merch salesman, but he definitely eats all the snacks.
You're like, hey, this is gross. Can you eat this and hide the evidence? And he's like, yeah.
I mean, it's not even that bad. It's just that it's not kawaii enough.
We
You know?
can't.
Aw, it doesn't pass
I
the
was gonna say, can
kawaii
you call him a
standard.
macaraccoon?
To
The
make a
macaroon
That's what
raccoon.
kind of felt like. Macaraccoon.
yes, that'd be really cute. Oh my god. Or if I could
New
make
monster.
a macaroon in the shape of a raccoon, that'd be even more cute.
You're giving her ideas.
Oh,
Well, it sounds like you're like finding help though, at
Mhm.
least
Very much so.
as it comes along, at least you're not doing it all by yourself anymore. You're just doing most of it by yourself.
But that help does help a lot.
Yeah,
So at least
that's
we're
crazy. So do you
pulling through together.
manage like all the aspects, like the
Yes,
cafe, the social media?
yes.
Wow. And I get the vibes from you too that you're very creative and
Mm,
I feel like you're kind of like perfectiony too. So
yes,
you're probably it's probably a little bit more difficult because you want to make sure that you're putting out perfection, which is
yes,
why you have the not so kawaii desserts that you hide the evidence to because
yeah,
it doesn't quite pass your standards.
very much so.
Have you ever had to like put your standards kind of like on the back burner? Like, have you ever been in like a pinch of time and you're just like, all right, well, this is what it is.
Sometimes, yes. Um,
That's the worst.
it is. It's very unfortunate, but in the end, people I realize are just grateful and happy to see me sometimes. So they don't even
Aw.
care. So it's like, I mean, I'm happy, but at the same time, it's like, you know?
That's the best when you have like the loyal people that are there for the experience and for the
Mhm.
maids and butlers and you. And when they're like, oh well, this is they know that this is the best that you could have done given like in the circumstances or any
Mm,
circumstances. And then they're still here for you and it's like
yes, very much so.
I'm
It's
wearing a lot
very
of makeup, but I don't make me cry.
it is very fulfilling. It makes me feel like, you know, I should keep doing what I'm doing when people
Yeah.
um continue to support me, even if it's not like the kawaii is. Sometimes people even seek out the little messed up one, or because I usually sell them at a slight discount, but savings aside, they're like, I want that one because it's a little crooked or it's a little messed
Oh,
up.
I love that. Would you say that's like your main motivator then? Like is support you get from guests?
Definitely, definitely. Because if I didn't really have people supporting what we were doing, I don't think I would continue to do it as long as I have. But just seeing their faces light up when they see my desserts, or just watching our performance and interacting with us, just gives me the energy to keep going.
So not only do we have you to thank then for keep moving forward and bringing us this amazing cafe, but we also have your followers to thank for being that like motivating factor to keep you going. So thank you to all the fans and followers of Deadly Sweet. We appreciate you. I know they do, but we appreciate you because now we get to see their content and stuff like that too. So thank you, fans. Thank you, followers. And thank you in the chat for walking for our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 little cute little RIP bits. We really appreciate that. And we also have J Parker 713 that says Wasabi Anime. I'll be waiting for y'all's events to open up back next year. Oh, I can't wait for everything to start opening back up. I'm going through such convention and like hanging out with the maid withdrawal.
Withdrawal.
I just yeah, it's strong. So I cannot wait until we can get back into the swing of the kawaii events and just events in general. How has things been closing and just the state of everything affected you and your business?
It definitely came, I mean, for everyone, I'm sure, at an inopportune moment, because I had just finished the hiring process for new maids, and I just finished interviewing everyone, and then everything closed down, like literally the next day. So I haven't really been able.
Impeccable timing. You're like, I planned this.
And we managed to squeeze one more event right before everything shut down too. So it was nice to at least get that one in. But I'm truly sad because I haven't been able to really meet with my newer maids and give them the full love and support like I did with my previous new maids. So
yeah, but they're probably understanding on what's going on right now. So yeah, wouldn't worry about that too much. Do you have any events planned for when things open back up?
Nothing.
You're like, yes, I have too many things.
Essentially, yes. It depends. Of course, we always have everything, you know, to for October, like booked already for next year. You know, people have their events that are reoccurring that we usually do. But as far as things go, depending on how soon we open up, I definitely want to hit more festivals so people can try our food because we're mostly known for our desserts. So I want people to get the full range of our menu.
Right. Well, not just for your desserts, your whole aesthetic, your logo, your performances, everything is so great, and it goes hand in hand to make, you know, Deadly Sweet as popular and amazing as it is. I know that closing down, it has affected everybody. So, but it does bring a great opportunity, especially for maid cafes, because there's a lot of content and things that we can do virtually. Like you guys are doing your Halloween live stream, but there's things like Made in America, and even just like, I mean, I guess you can't like be in large groups, but the internet and like virtual is such a great opportunity. And it's nice to see you guys capitalizing on it, you know, so that we're not just totally deprived of Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe.
Yes. It has been a challenge though, you know, trying to figure out technology, especially streaming technology, but I feel like I've conquered it. And we're ready to put on a great show.
You never realize like how bad your built-in webcam and microphone are until you have to stream or you're like recording. You're like, what the heck is what the yeah.
Very much that.
It's good to see that we are kind of like moving virtual, because I think virtual content is the way of the future. But there's nothing will be as good as being in a maid cafe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
very much that.
Yeah. I'm getting sad. I miss our Goshujin sama so much. I also miss winning all of our tabletop games.
You know what? I'm not gonna fight you because you're head maid, but you know, I would just like to point out that this is not entirely true. But it's
Listen, just because I have fairy magic on my side to help me win. And Madame Macaron has spells. But just because you're an Usagi maid, you know, isn't our fault. Just because we have that extra magical, you know, help. Okay, so back to the business side of it really quick. So when you do like pop-ups and bake sales, do you have to get like permits? Like, how do you go about
yes.
selling your baked goods?
Everything is very strict, especially for like larger festivals.
Yeah.
The health inspector and the fire inspector come in guns blazing, checking temperatures, making sure everything's safe.
Permits.
Yes. But I make sure to stay on top of it because I'd rather food safety is very important to me. And B, I'd rather
I'm gonna take this curry into evidence.
yeah. I mean, I have made sales off of health inspectors because they come by, check everything out, see it's clean, and then smell the curry cooking. They're like, I'll be back for that.
That's so nice. Oh my gosh, I love it. Community.
Yes, very much that. But it's good to be ahead of things and make sure everything is, legal and safe than to just be neglectful and deal with the consequences later.
Right.
I've been very much
totally
on
makes
that side of
sense.
things.
When you go for pop-up venues, do you cook on site and bake on site, or like do you try to like look for places with a kitchen, or do you make everything first and then bring it over?
It depends.
Good question.
When we do bake sales, there's this law. I'm not sure if it applies everywhere, but in Texas, there's this law called cottage law, which allows people to bake out of their homes and sell baked goods, I think jams and jellies and things like that. So that's how I'm able to bring my baked good places.
That was probably so much research for you.
Yes, definitely to see, can I do this?
Yeah.
But as far as food goes, it always has to be prepared on site. Because there's a little bit more of the danger zone you can go into when like preparing meats and stuff. So we had to make sure things are safe.
Oh, that sounds so difficult. That sounds like such an extra step, that you've got to like pre-plan.
Yes.
Sounds so stressful.
Initially, before I knew of this wonderful law, I would bake everything live, but I only did cupcakes at the time. I had a cupcake machine that I would bring to me to places, and I'd whip up cupcakes fresh and sell them. And that's how we started out.
Wait, you had a cupcake machine, or you were the cupcake machine and that was like your nickname?
Both? Yeah, I had a machine that I would use.
That's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. That's like that little extra, like sprinkle that just makes it so much cooler. We do have a couple of questions in the chat that I'm just going to address really quickly. Erica Wolf says, how do you sign up for the virtual Halloween stream? I think that's directed at you. Made in America is going to have a Halloween stream too next Monday. Yeah, next Monday. We're that close to Halloween. Wow. Next Monday. But you can just tune in here to watch that. So how can people watch your stream?
After this stream, I'll be posting like the full details. The YouTube stream will be free to watch for anyone. But if you want like the full experience, we'll be selling like this box that comes with the desserts and the special things that go along with the stream. So we'll be posting the link to the stream, if not tonight, later on this week.
And that's going to be on your Instagram, you said, right? Or
on our Instagram, Facebook, and we do have Twitter, but I'm not that active on there. And Twitter.
And that's just at Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe.
At Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe for Instagram and Facebook, but Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe was too long, so I just shortened it to Deadly Maid Cafe.
Oh.
It sounds ominous, but
is that
it
a threat or a promise?
I've actually gotten that question a lot initially. They're like, is this really gonna kill me? And I'm like, well, we all die eventually. Yeah. It's not a guarantee.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So V Walking says, what kind of games do y'all like playing with your guests? This is the nonverbal communication conversation we said we were gonna have. We're to our guests that don't know what I'm talking about. We're both hummers, so we both like to made our Madame Macaron, and I like to respond with nonverbal, or like I guess they're verbal, but like hmm. So we said this was gonna be the whole stream. It was gonna be us going. I'm sorry. So what kind of games do you like playing? I apologize.
We have this game it's kind of hard to describe, but it's called Spider Egg Surprise, and you
Ooh.
roll a dice, and that's how many turns you get to unwrap the spider egg. And if you get a prize that's inside the spider egg, then you get to keep it. But there's like a bigger prize in the middle of it, and you pass it around to the people at your table.
Spiders lay eggs, right?
Yeah.
Do they lay eggs?
Yeah. A
That's
bunch,
terrifying.
like a million.
Ooh.
Oh.
The more you know. I guess maybe I did know that, but that's such a cool game. V Walking says the question was for everyone. So Maid Joy, what is your favorite game to play with guests?
Okay. We have a dice game that's a lot of fun, and it's really like I like it because it's physical. I forget how it's played. It's been so long. But another one that we have is called
Are you talking the one with the big foam dice? The one that are like
what are we,
that big and you just chuck them?
That's it. Yeah, that's the game.
How many Goshi Jinsamas can you hit with this dice?
That one's one of my favorites. And then we play like our version of Heads Up is a lot of fun, where we try to guess like certain different categories, and it's always anime, and I'm like, I don't know. That, and then the Anxiety Tube one, where it's like that's not what it's called, but it's like a bunch of different like twisty metal rods that you have to try and like untangle and then dangle on top of the thing. Suspense, thank you. Suspend, and that's it's really cool. It's not themed or anything. They're just like different like
the Anxiety Tube.
And yeah, because it comes in
I
a
like
tube,
that name better.
Anxiety Tube. I love that game.
Yeah, well, we can at least all agree that maid cafes are super duper fun, whether it be the performance aspect or the game aspect, or just the whole thing in general. And it sounds like Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe is above and beyond most maid cafes with their funness and their theme, and y'all just sound like you've got your stuff together. So I'm definitely a fan, and I really appreciate you joining us today. Do you mind just telling everybody how they can follow and support Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe?
Sure. We have Instagram and Facebook at Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe. We also have a Twitter at Deadly Maid Cafe. I think we also have a Tumblr. I haven't updated that in a while. But if you search Deadly Sweet Maid Cafe on Tumblr, you'll find us there. Yeah. That's pretty much it. That's our socials.
And then, of course, watching your stream
on
Halloween at 2 p.m.
on our YouTube. Yes.
Right. So ideally, how can people support you though? Just follow everything and
yes, follow whatever you can. You can come out to our events or visit our virtual maid cafe. Eventually, in the future, we would like to open up a Ko-fi or a Patreon and give people like exclusive behind the scenes stuff and cute things monthly.
Yeah, well, I always call it coffee, but it just shows my mental state of mind. But Ko-fi has a new shop feature where you could technically sell any merchandise, or maybe down the line, if the baked goods thing is worked out, like detail wise, might be an option for you. So, take my money, senpai. So I don't know. It was just an option. I thought it was cool. So I'm trying to let everybody know that it's a great time to, get support that way too. Especially if you have merchandise like stickers and stuff.
Yes, we do have a lot of merch.
Oh yes. Put it there so we can buy it. But we will definitely be following and supporting at Maid Cafe Mikkusu, you guys, just because we already, I'm pretending like we're not already, but we will be even more now, because it's just been such a pleasure talking to you and interviewing you about Deadly Sweet and learning more about it. I think I speak for us and the guests that are watching as well when we just say thank you so much for coming out. To our guests, if you would like to see more Made in America in the future, please subscribe here on this Twitch channel. to Wasabi Anime. I'm doing it like it's YouTube. Subscribe below to Wasabi Anime, and then you can follow Maid Cafe Mikkusu on Instagram at the same @Maid Cafe Mikkusu, and look forward to our future stuff. Look forward to Deadly Sweet. Support them. Give them love. Give them your attention, senpai. Notice them, senpai. And yeah,
Thank you.
just thank you so much again for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye. We'll see you later.
Bye bye.